their own fight for survival, and manager Carlos Carvajal sees today's game as what his team has got to get something from. He names Tammy Abraham and Tom Carroll in the starting lineup, with Ki Sung-young and Nathan Dyer dropping to the bench. West Brom and Swansea are the joint lowest scorers in the Premier League, so expect this game to be a cagey affair.
We can now get to the King Power, bringing that team news of the game between Leicester and Newcastle. Let's try again, Adam Inker.
A win at the King Power today would all but secure Premier League survival for Newcastle United. They haven't won away from home though since New Year's Day against Stoke. Leicester have a Europa League spot firmly in their sights, and they have history on their side in this fixture too. They've won their last 5 against Newcastle, and you have to go years to when Alan Shearer played in black and white for the last time Newcastle beat Leicester away from home. And Didi will be a big loss in midfield for Leicester. He's suspended, Silva replaces him, and Diabate is in for Okazaki. Benitez named the same side who beat Huddersfield last weekend.
Now the games, you can hear them on various platforms via our broadcast partners around the world. Of course, we'll bring you the goals as they go in first and fast right here while we concentrate on our main game today. The red and white checkered flags are flying of Stoke City around the Bet365 on a fairly grey and dank day in the north part of the Midlands. Of course, Pochettino arrives with his Spurs side in terrific form. 5 straight wins in the Premier League. Surely favourites for this one. Let's get the thoughts of Paul Lambert and Maurizio Pochettino.
If you get a result against this team, it definitely puts the cat amongst the pigeons, that's for sure. But it's as easy as we stand here now, we're premier enough to do it. And we're a different team from before. I know Tottenham's results against Stoke before, but we have to make an impact again. We have to be aggressive with it. We have to be after them as well. We can't let them come through and do what's happened before, and that's what we're trying to do.
It was fantastic in the moment that we achieved a victory and celebrate, but then the day after all disappear and we need to be focused in the game against Stoke. That is going to be a very tough game, and I think the key will be to be focused and prepared for a big battle, because they play for survive. And of course, always it's good to win. Always was a derby. It means a lot for our fans. After 28, to feel again the victory on Stamford Bridge, I think was fantastic for everyone. That, like a manager or like a coaching staff or the same player, is not too much time to spend enjoying about the victory, because that is very dangerous. Because if you enjoy too much, you are not focusing to prepare the next game, and when arrive the next game, you need to be ready.
You have to load your marker down. There's no point in the game if you think you're going to get beat before you load your tunnel. So you make sure that you get your goal in first, and you dominate. That's what you have to do. It's an individual game in team sport. I always think football, and there's many good players. Ericsson had, I think, it's the one that actually makes him really tick, probably the brains behind it. But Harry Kane is a goal scorer, so it's been absolutely phenomenal.
Thoughts of Paul Lambert and Maurizio Pochettino then ahead of kickoff here at the Bet365. Franny Benali is alongside me for this one this afternoon. Starting with Spurs, everyone keeps saying about it's another really good season for Spurs. Oh, aren't they brilliant? We've talked about the fact they haven't been beaten since December. They've won their last 5 games in a row. That's still 20 points away from Manchester City. Is that telling us more about the fact that Spurs have had some issues and some failings this season, or that Man City have just been far superior?
Well, City have just been head and shoulders, Adam, haven't they, above anybody this season. United are doing their best to keep on their coattails, but it's been a formidable season. I think to have an opportunity to win the title with this many games left of the season just seems bizarre, really, doesn't it? Normally it goes a lot closer to the wire, but
it does. But they're still not the best of the rest, are they? And yet everyone keeps proclaiming what a fantastic coach he is and what a fantastic team he's got, but they aren't the best of the rest still.
No, well, they're almost Pochettino style work in progress.
How much more time does the man want?
I know, I get that, but he's almost sat in the right part in the sense that they're moving to the stadium next season. Staying in the top 4 in Champions League football next season is going to be crucial for them. I can't see them not being caught now, so I would say that's a given. So, and there's some potential FA Cup success for them here as well. So, finishing top 4, a potential FA Cup trophy win as well. That wouldn't be seen as necessarily a failure, and it's almost like going into the new stadium would almost like be ticking all the boxes. And I think I read somewhere where Pochettino said, when you join a club, it's a commitment for life. And the Spurs supporters will love to hear that, but they will have to start delivering more. If I'm picking up what you're alluding to compete with the cities and potentially actually winning the Premier League.
But Daniel Levy's paying himself a nice salary for someone who's not yet picked up a trophy as chairman. Lambert talked about Eriksen being the heartbeat of this Spurs team. I would go a step further back and say that Moussa Dembele, to me, is probably the heartbeat of this Spurs team. Which one do you fall on the side of?
Well, I'm a huge fan of both. Dembele, I've watched him closely and in some live games as well, sort of at the stadiums where he's just class. He just seems to almost play at 50%, yet he's still blowing the opposition away.
Just watching him do the warm-ups, actually, and he was at 50% in the sprints compared to everybody else.
Most definitely. I think he's obviously got that maybe to his character, because when you see him on the football pitch, some players do, they almost see the energy and the way that they run around and the enthusiasm, and almost like you can see them, they're working at a max. I'm sure he is putting the effort in, but it's almost like he's that good at times. He doesn't need to play at his maximum because he's just such a class player. He's strong, he's quick. If he could add goals to his game as well, blimey, he would be worth an absolute fortune. But Eriksen, the two of them, he is that little creative playmaker, someone that can pick a pass. He's scoring goals as well, as we saw at Chelsea last week, that wonderful strike. And yeah, two players that I would agree almost like equally important to the side when maybe a lot of the press goes to a Harry Kane or a Dele Alli or even Son. Son's done a fantastic role this season as well.
Have Stoke got any chance today? How are they going to try and stop Spurs?
They've got to be competitive, they've got to be solid, they've got to not concede early on and try and get the crowd behind them a little bit and be a threat from set pieces. They're physically a big, strong side, but then Tottenham are as well. They're far from being a non-physical side, Tottenham. So everything would be facing that it's going to be a victory for Tottenham. But football being football, and when you're down there scrapping for points, who knows?
Love it. The teams are coming out. Zerdan Shaqiri is about as tall as the ball girl, and the mascot that's arrived alongside him. After some of his criticism this week, he needs to put in a big performance today for this Stoke City side as they go in search of those 3 points. 8 games without victory. They've lost the last 3. If they're going to have any chance of Premier League survival, they need to stop the rot, and they need to start right now. The big kick-off then between Stoke and Tottenham Hotspur is coming next. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at TalkSport.com in English, Spanish or Mandarin every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit TalkSport.com to find out more.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Salah into the penalty area. Mo Salah gets it through. Firmino! 3-0. Counter-attacking football at its best. Roberto Firmino.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
Here's Aguero trying to find a way through. Sergio Aguero, as he does so well. Brilliant goal. Marvellous goal by Sergio Aguero.
Full commentary, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
Ball comes in towards Willian, breaks back to Pedro. It's 3-0 to Chelsea, but it's all too easy.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Calvert-Lewin gets it back from Rooney as well. Again, better from Everton. Crosses the middle. It's Lennon with the header this time. The keeper spills it. And Wayne Rooney turns it home.
Every game is covered.
Mesut Ozil wants it back. This would be a lovely goal. Mesut Ozil into Olivier Giroud. Arsenal have doubled their advantage. It's a simply superb goal from Arsenal. A beautiful collective move.
Get involved in debates. Ask in-game questions to our commentary team and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Here's the corner. Swung in well on. Header's in. It's a goal. West Ham have equalised.
east, and Cheku Kouyaté is celebrating. The equaliser for West Ham from the corner in the final minute of the first half.
This is Premier League Live.
Headed away that time by Stevens, and that's deflected and in. Ashley Young with a shot, it's off of Lewis Dunk, and it goes into the top corner. Ashley Young will take the credit for it, but it's a wicked deflection off of Lewis Dunk.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live, brought to you by TalkSport Live.
Go to TalkSport.com and sign up now to play the free TalkSport Predictor game. Predict the results of the English Premier League games this season for the chance to win top-flight weekly prizes. From the Gunners getting away goals at Anfield to epic finishes at the Etihad. Click TalkSport.com/predictor and register now for the chance to go top of the table in the ultimate football fan tournament. The TalkSport English Premier League Predictor game. Available online and for free at TalkSport.com/predictor.
Welcome to TalkSport's coverage of Stoke City against Tottenham Hotspur from the Bet365 Stadium. I'm your host, Adam Bridge. Alongside me is the former Southampton defender, Francis Benali. You are listening to Premier League Live, and you join us as a large image of Ray Wilkins is put on the big screen here at the Bet365 Stadium. A very good friend and colleague at TalkSport who sadly lost his life this week at such a young age, just 61 years old. And a minute's applause currently being carried out by all the supporters around the Bet365 and the players inside the centre circle. Formerly, of course, of Chelsea, Manchester United, Queen's Park Rangers, AC Milan and so many more. You could not wish to meet a nicer man in football, and the outpouring of emotion from so many this week, I think, has highlighted just what a genuine legend many people believed he was. Let's run you through the two teams then, as we're about to get underway. Our referee, Mr. Graham Scott, has the teams lined up and ready to go. Stoke, of course, in that traditional white and red stripes, kicking from left to right. In this opening 45 minutes, it's Spurs are in their away strip, which is the dark blue, of course, and they immediately have possession down the right-hand side. Aurier gets the ball in towards Dele Alli inside the penalty area, and immediately Shawcross is called into action, as is Martins Indy to get the ball clear, and they do down that left-hand side, and Sanchez has to intervene and get it clear from just inside his own half. It's forward by Peters, very direct towards the Spurs penalty area, and Hugo Lloris will just let the ball run out of play. Let's give you the teams while the ball is out of play. Stoke are unchanged today from the team that lost to Arsenal. Butland's in goal. Johnson, Shawcross, Martins, Indy and Peters are across the back. Bauer, Allen and Dye and Sobey in midfield, with Shaqiri just playing off Duke, who leads the line for Stoke. As for Spurs, there are four changes. Aurier, Rose, Wanyama and Kane come in for Trippier, Davis, Dyer and Lamela. So it's Lloris in goal, Aurier, Sanchez, Vertonghen and Rose across the back. Wanyama and Dembele in midfield. Eriksen, Ali and Son supporting the returning Harry Kane, who's immediately on the charge here towards the edge of the Stoke penalty area, but Martins Indy safely gets it back to Jack Butland at the edge of his 6-yard area. We've had just over 60 seconds. As I mentioned, Graham Scott is the man in charge. Dembele has taken a whack in the back here from Ndiaye in the middle of the park. And it means Dele Alli will charge forward with the ball. The advantage has been played here by the referee. Eriksen's picked it up, out wide to the left-hand side. Danny Rose is there immediately and met by a chorus of boos. It's back to Eriksen once more and Son, and thankfully for Spurs, Dembele is up and about and has possession just inside the Stoke half. He keeps the ball quite nicely. Franny Benali is alongside me. I'm sure you certainly came across Ray during your playing career, Franny. What a lovely man Ray Wilkins.
Oh, he was both, during his playing days and whilst I was coming through as a youngster, and obviously beyond that in our retirement as well, met him on a few occasions. So yeah, just seeing the outpouring and the respect that's been shown since he passed away is just goes to show the quality of the man.
both teams today, and coaches wearing black armbands, something that will happen across the Premier League all over this weekend. 2 minutes played in the second half then, 0-0 here. I think already we're seeing a sign Stoke are going to be prepared to go long today, and also with the one they left on Dembele, they're going to be quite physical.
Most definitely, yeah, and no surprise to see Tottenham having a pretty much fair share of the possession, knocking the ball around a little bit with Stoke dropping off and just looking to keep things tight at the moment. And as you say, a couple of times they've picked the ball up and been pretty direct, trying to play the ball pretty swiftly up to Diouf, and yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a trait and a tactic I think we may well see throughout the game.
Again, Johnson just runs the ball into touch. His third start in a row in the Premier League. Hasn't played since October because of a knee injury. Only his 5th Premier League start of the season for what feels like an old stager, but he's only 33 years of age, Glenn Johnson, but ravaged by injury in the last few years. Dented his opportunities here at Stoke City at one time. Actually, under Mark Hughes, he turned into a little bit more of a third centre-half rather than a right full-back, which is where he plays today. Bit of afters there between Dele Alli and Ryan Shawcross after Shawcross took him down, and a bit of frustration from Dele Alli, I think, but Shawcross again, just like most of these Stoke players, just trying to make their mark early on in this game.
Yes, it's often sort of just letting the opposition know that they're not going to get maybe the time and space that they would necessarily like. And it's interesting, just since having a little comment a moment ago, it's just seeing and recognising Stoke. They are actually, with Shaqiri, just looking to try and press the Spurs players a little bit higher up the pitch. So Paul Lambert stood on the touchline. He's encouraging his players to get in amongst the Spurs players. So maybe they're going to be a little bit braver and press them a little bit higher up the pitch.
Dele Alli feeling a little bit of discomfort from that knock he took from behind, I think, by Ryan Shawcross. He's well taped up across his left knee here, Dele Alli. Terrific, of course, against Chelsea last Sunday, and a lot of credit going to Christian Eriksen, and rightly so, but Ali with a couple of goals on that occasion. It's the ball over the top there for Diouf to chase, but the offside flag is already up midway inside the Tottenham Hotspur half. 4.5 minutes played then. Stoke 0, Spurs 0. A reminder earlier today, the first game on Derby Day, the Merseyside derby, finished goalless between Everton and Liverpool. What it does mean is if Spurs were to replicate their last 4 victories over Stoke City, i.e. by a 4-goal margin, if they replicate that today, they would find themselves up in 3rd place in the Premier League with a game in hand over Liverpool. Here is Eriksen.
It's incentive there for them, and
it is, very much so. And they have taken Stoke to the cleaners on the last 4 occasions they've met. 3 4-0s and a 5-1 at Wembley earlier on in the season. Here is Eriksen at the edge of the penalty area, just feeding that ball back into Victor Wanyama. Here's Dembele. Skips between Allen and Ndiaye in the middle, and the challenge was actually decent in the end from the midfielder, the £14 million signing from Galatasaray. And then down this right-hand side, it's Bauer that tries to pick up the ball. He was caught for pace by Son, but clever enough just to lay the ball back inside to Johnson. And then Johnson with a hopeless long ball forward, straight into the arms of Hugo Lloris.
It's a great challenge on Dembele. He skipped away from his markers, almost effortlessly, like we've spoken about before the game started. But it was a wonderful tackle. And sometimes that's all it takes to maybe lift the crowd. One challenge, one tackle to put in on the opposition. But again, just seeing Johnson playing that direct ball up to Diouf, it's going to be something that we see a lot of, I'm sure. But Lambert, I'm sure, would have been saying to Diouf, play on the shoulders of both Sanchez and Vertonghen. Almost ask questions so that you almost get confusion between the pair of them, maybe which one of them are going to be marking you. But they're certainly not going to be playing too many balls into his feet by the looks of it.
27 points from 32 games then prior to today for Stoke. Their worst ever points return at this stage of a Premier League season. Last time they were relegated from the top flight was back in 1984, 1985. It feels a long time ago. They've had 10 long years in the Premier League. They've finished in the top half of the table, of course, on a few occasions. Firstly under Tony Pulis and then under Mark Hughes. But the last couple of years, it's all just gone a little bit wrong. It's an awful lot of money on the field, but also not on the field today for Stoke City. The likes of Wimmer at 18 million and Berahino at 15 million. And Afellay not even anywhere near the stadium, he and Berahino today, based on their attitude. It does feel like it's all just gone a little bit wrong.
Worrying for their supporters, Adam, is they've conceded, is it 61 goals this season, more than any other side in the Premier League. That's the worrying stat, along with a lot of others for their supporters.
And one of England's potential World Cup goalkeepers conceded 54 of them. That's Jack Butland, and he's under pressure here as Kane whips the ball into the penalty area. It'll be picked up on this near side by Son, because it's evaded everybody. The left-hand side for Spurs as they come forward again. 30 yards out from goal, it's Dembele into Eriksen. One-touch football to Rose, then Son again, but his first touch was heavy. Took it away from him and into the path of Njai, and then also to Joe Allen. And that's good work by Ramadan Sobhi on that far side. He brings Eric Peters in, and the Dutchman now will stride forward. Gets a lovely ball through again to Sobhi, but interception by Aurier is a good one. And it's all the way back, in fact, by Sanchez, and then to Aurier, who then clears from level with the edge of his own penalty area. Up towards Eriksen. And again, Stoke have won it in the middle of the park. Combative so far in that midfield battle against Dembele and against Wanyama. You would say Stoke are possibly just having the better of it. Down this right-hand side, here comes Moritz Bauer. And it runs off Danny Rose and into touch, and there's applause from Paul Albert, who's happy with the effort so far of his Stoke side.
Rightly so as well, Adam. I mean, they've won the ball well. Possibly a poor touch from Son in and around the last third, the 18-yard box of Stoke, but
don't say that very often, do you?
No, but they broke well with energy, enthusiasm, and numbers as well. They were committing bodies forward as well. So, and it looks like they may have just won the first corner of the game as well.
They have. It's off Vertonghen, who's protesting his innocence, but he seems to accept it fairly quickly. Corner on the right-hand side, then for Stoke City. Almost 9 minutes played at the Bet365. 0-0. And up from the back will come Martins Indy and Shawcross. Shawcross actually scored in this fixture at Wembley. He scored at both ends, an own goal and the scant consolation that day for Stoke in that 5-1 defeat. Here's the corner swung over by Shaqiri, and it was looking for Shawcross, and Lloris did really well. He got a fingertip to it just to push it up in the air and then gathered it at the second attempt.
Yeah, it was whipped in left-footed by Shaqiri, and Lloris obviously gave the shout to his fellow teammates that he was coming for it. And we saw him make that little error at Chelsea last week, didn't we, for the first goal when Llorente, he missed that cross, completely misjudged the ball into the box, but on that occasion he dealt with it pretty well.
Thrown on that far side then, which will be taken by Peters for Stoke. Huge weekend for them. They begin the weekend in 19th place in the Premier League. Just below them are West Bromwich Albion. They've kicked off against Swansea at the Hawthorns. We'll keep you posted on that game. As we mentioned, Southampton, they're in action tomorrow. They currently occupy 18th spot. But with Palace in 17th, they're in action today as well. As a Huddersfield in 16th. Busy near the foot of that table. Everyone's scrapping for their lives, and some tricky fixtures coming up this weekend. West Ham, of course, in action against Chelsea tomorrow as well. They're still scrapping for points despite that victory. I'll only mention it once more over Southampton last weekend. Oh, Butland's let that go out of play, as the assistant on the far side says no. It looked like it to me. Not the best of control from Jack Butland inside the penalty area. There's Allen with an overhead clearance. It's a fairly loose ball forward towards Duke, and Dembele's been caught there in the middle of the park again. This time shut down very quickly by Badu Njai. Not the first time either.